My name is Paul Kwiatkowski, and I am the Director of Urban Ecology and Sustainability at Mount Auburn Cemetery. I would like to take a few minutes just to talk a little bit about sustainability and the project on Indian Ridge. This project came out of an effort known as the Wildlife Action Plan, which is a document that we created through a process in which we brought in a diverse team of professionals in the fields of biology, ecology, ornithology, herpetology, and landscape design. And we asked these folks to attend a 3-day charrette. All of the participants submitted proposals for the cemetery to be able to go forward with a mini master plan regarding wildlife habitat that would ensure that our conservation efforts would be successful to the highest degree possible. So the Indian Ridge Path was very important. There were a couple of components to it. There was a survey of existing flora there, and that helped us to determine what needed to be edited out, specifically some of the invasive species. Indian Ridge is an important geographic area within the cemetery. It's almost a bridge between Halcyon Lake and Auburn Lake. It also acts as a part of the wildlife corridor that we're trying to connect throughout the cemetery from water body to water body. It's vital habitat, and it serves a couple important purposes. It creates breeding ground, it creates cover, and it also enhances the visitor experience at Mount Auburn Cemetery.
So I'm an ecologist and an educator and a photographer. So I've been at Mount Auburn for quite some time. Right now I work on the tree phrenology project, and then we also have a breeding bird survey that we started in 2019, and we've also been working on a red-backed salamander reintroduction project that has been going on since 2017. We initiated this breeding bird survey last year, and we have 16 different points that we look at, and we have about 20 citizen scientists who help us collect data. And we have been looking at which birds are breeding at Mount Auburn, what their distribution is, so which species are found where, what their relative abundance is, so which birds are most abundant at Mount Auburn, and which types of habitat do they prefer. And kind of the goal is to establish a formalized baseline data set on breeding birds so that 10, 20, 30 years from now, we can kind of take a look and see how things have changed. The work that we're doing with the trees is also very important because we're seeing whether there's a potential disconnect between how trees are being influenced by climate change and how birds are being influenced. We have a number of trees along Indian Ridge, and the whole phenology trail goes right through the wildlife corridor also, can be used in conjunction with the bird work we're doing. Indian Ridge has always been kind of one of the most popular spots for birders at Mount Auburn that we've been looking at, especially during migration, because it's just a really well-enclosed habitat currently, but then we're going to be bringing back a lot of native species. It just will be enhanced that much further. It's a really nice spot to get good looks at birds as well, because you're up high and you're able to look up into the canopy of different tree species. So native plants are really critical for wildlife habitat. They're providing great cover, and they also really critically provide great foraging habitats. So insect diversity is phenomenally greater in native species because the insects have evolved with these native species. And so what birds need, especially in the spring, is high abundance of insects. So both during migration, when birds are stopping at Mount Auburn as a spot to refuel, really critical that there's great insect diversity for them to refuel. And native plants have a ton more insects than non-native plants. When people see that Mount Auburn is being really concerned about adding native plants, it can really permeate out into people's individual choices with their own backyards.
Thanks in large part to a generous grant from the Ruggiero Memorial Trust, the Friends of Mount Auburn Cemetery has raised just over half of the project cost, but we are now seeking supporters to help match this gift. Your gift will help us promote native wildlife and improve the cemetery's environmental impact. You can make a gift to support the project by selecting special projects under the Your Support tab on our website at www.mountauburn.org.